History of rap has elements of the street, some violent, very explicit. So say it's about keeping their street cred, hearing street cred and keeping street cred. How do you approach street cred versus being a positive influence? That's a good question. I don't know who, that's a good one.
All right. See, the thing with that is this. Anyone who thinks their street cred comes from strictly what you put on a mic, you ain't got street cred.
Right, that's true.
You know what I mean? And my thing is, like, I come from neighborhoods where people who had to struggle, they pray for the day that they don't have to hustle no more. You feel me? So I don't, when you speak upon like your struggles deeply and you make music that's emotional, people can feel that. You know what I'm saying? They can really feel it and hear, because then you relate to something that somebody else is going through. Now, when you put that to elevating and wanting to be something more, people hear that too. Because the people that are really struggling in the street, guess what? They want to come out. I remember looking out my project building in the Bronx, just seeing nothing but buildings, and you know, I was super young, and I'm praying to God, like, man, please show me something more than these projects. You know what I'm saying? So I know there's kids to this day that's doing the same thing. Now that I know that, and my focus is to inspire not just myself, but artists that I'm with and the music we put out there, and I'm coming off, you know, and when I am, you know, positive, like, I don't feel I have to show somebody that I'm tough by what I say on the mic. I'm gonna just say what I feel with that song. You know, because at the end of the day, like, when it comes to like guns and violence, anybody with a gun is tough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can get the weakest dude on the street, you give him a Uzi and he's like, don't mess with that dude. But one thing I would say, like, everybody can't knuckle up though. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like, I have no problem going one-on-one with anybody if we have a conflict. I mean, and then we move on about our business. So my street cred comes just from, I know where I'm from, and I know it's not something that I want to glorify, but it's something that I never want to forget. My thing is to inspire people to want to do more. That's what street cred is about. It's not bringing people back to not having nothing.
To stay stuck in your environment because you raised out of it. Right. And, you know, just to let the people know, Aunt Ash can box, so you don't want none. Okay. Moving on. We've discussed building the team. How do you go about that process?
Well, it's funny because off camera we just kind of had this discussion, but when you are going after something, and people can see, they see the vision through some of your successes and things you created, they want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? And that's good. And being like someone that's a go-getter, you see that. Sometimes you see the best in people. So you're like, yo, let's do it. We can do this together. You start building your team. We got this, man. We can do that. We can do that. Then all of a sudden, as time go on, you are used to going through the daily grind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you start to find people who just want to be attached to that success part that they saw. You know what I mean? And so with building a team, I make sure I'm dealing with people who, one, they're about the daily grind. You know, I can tell through their conversation, I can tell through their action, I can tell when it's just, you know, there's no financial gain immediately and they're like on it. You know what I'm saying? And also I can tell I build my team based off of everyone bringing something to the table. You know, some type of skill, some type of asset. It can be monetary, it can be like a skill, it can be like a vision, but you're there bringing that asset 24/7. You know what I mean? And I think the one thing you don't want to do when you build a team is build with people that all they're about is attaching on to a connect. I'm like, I want people, I want people who you trying to be the connect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm connecting with you and you bring an asset and now we all have some way that we're strong, like you bring something big to the table, I bring something big, he brings something big. You know You know what I'm saying? Now the team is that much stronger. But when you start to witness people, they call networking just trying to talk to somebody who's already successful. You're not networking because you're not bringing anything to that successful person. Right. You just looking for a hookup from them. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's about the vibe of the person too. You know how we were saying, you know, how they conduct themselves, how they act. We don't want, you know, really any big egos that might get in the way of accomplishing our goal. So it's about the vibe too.
So I mean, how would you, that same question, I mean, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I feel everything that you were saying, that's a good point about everybody having something to bring to the table. It's always about us two sharing a common goal. You know, where are we trying to go with this thing? What are we trying to accomplish? So having a common goal is important. No egos. Really can't handle people who have drama too much and may panic in certain situations. We need people that stay positive and keep moving forward and finding solutions rather than dwelling on what's going wrong, if that may happen. So that's what I would say.
Okay, I like that. I like what you had to say.
You better had.
Right on.
I think you might have some questions for me.
Yeah, actually I do.
Bring them on.
All right, let me pull out the. It's about to get real.
Is your phone working?
It is about to go down. All right.
Like, what is he pulling out of his pocket right now?
This morning.
Oh God.
I couldn't find. No, I'm just playing. All right, check this out. With your business skill, you know, with marketing and things of that nature that I mentioned, how did that translate to like music? How would you, like, when it's come to managing projects, managing finances, public relations, how do you translate your skill from a business world to the music world?
Well, at first, as you know, I was a little nervous about, you know, working in the music industry since I don't know a lot about it. I'm just a fan. So I was a little nervous about that. But then I thought about all my experience, past jobs, you know, and projects that I've worked on. And really, music is a business. It's a product. Your songs are a product. The artists are a product that we need to market and we need to get people excited about and to ultimately purchase what we're selling. So, I mean, I really just approach it that way as, you know, it's a product that I'm trying to sell to the people. So that gave me a little bit more confidence in joining the Entrepreneur Entertainment team.
Right on.
He's over there.
You know what? I forgot. I wanted to bring that out, though. One thing I would say is another reason why I wanted you to be a part of this journey is because Kym actually does have a really good music ear of all kind of different music, you know, from hip hop to pop, rock. So that's important because Entrepreneur Entertainment, we want to expand. And we both listen to a lot of different music, like from my uncles, my older cousins, my sisters got me into all kind of different music, from reggae to, you know, my grandfather listened to country, so I listen to country. I don't, you know, I know a good country song when I hear it, you know what I'm saying? So we want to make sure we expand. Next question. Now, being a mom, because I know, like when we were in LA and there was like a list of different like parties and stuff like that, label parties, and in that industry you get thrown off guard, like if we're expecting to be in LA for like 2 days and all of a sudden at the drop of a hat they're like, oh, we got this going on tomorrow and this going on tomorrow. So your schedule can change like that. But, you know, knowing we have kids, like, how does that affect you? How do you feel you're gonna approach that, you know, going forward? How you deal with that being a mom?
Right. Well, I mean, the good thing about it is that I get to work with my husband, so he understands where my priorities are, and so you know, it's all about us figuring out where I need to be. You know, because I can go home with the kids and you can go to that party and represent us, or maybe I do need to stay the extra day and represent the company. The great thing too is that we have, as you know, a great support system with our parents. Everybody's real supportive of us, helpful with the children, you know, so that helps. But I mean, you know how I am when I'm away from my kids for too long. I start to get a little antsy to see them. So they're always going to be number one priority, but just keeping in mind that we're doing this for them, to make a better life for them, to be a good example to them, to hopefully be able to pass this business on to them when they get older. So I think that's important to remember too.
I like that.